everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
First carry for Spencer Ware. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. He's time to win.
Now the first carry for Bush. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Bush on 3rd down. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On second down now, it's Bush.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good. Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
10-2 soft.
They'll run on first down. Bush. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. You don't see option pitches a whole lot in the NFL, but there worked out pretty well, resulted in a touchdown.
And it's hard for defenses because they don't see it very often, so the time in preparing each week is probably minimal. So when it comes at them, it's often a surprise. And what a nice job on the read, pitch to the running back, and he takes it all the way in for a touchdown.
This is taken near the 13. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go play action now. Ryan nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Ryan. He's going to wind up and air it out. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Bush. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. They go play action with Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. James now to return. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
21-0 our score after 1. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. And his throw is incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Ready up.
Mark 50, Mark 50. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Double time, double time.
5.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. He chucks him aside.
Thumped him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gator. Hey, exit. 56. Ready?
Jones now on first and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and that'll bring up second down.
Go now.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10.
Shoot.
They give to Bush going right. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A run for Nick Chubb. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Topper, now.
Try to punch it across with Bush. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Come on, set. 10 logo. Hey, shoot.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 51 for Mike, boy. 51.
Get it.
On second and goal. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Darius Slayton, his first touchdown on the year.
Jones pass complete to Darius Slayton.
A try here for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
On second down, it's Ware. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. I'm coming.
Now Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To Ware on the draw. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
On 1st down, it's Bush.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. 2nd down and inches. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Jones to throw on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Bush on 4th down. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Back to throw. Jones completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Jones now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
Let's go, Mike. 50. Mike.
Go.
Danny.
Get it.
Looking to throw. Jones. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
Bravo.
Hey, Mike's 50.
Ain't no such thing as a go.
Back to throw. Jones. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
Ready?
Second and 9 now. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Now Jones. A final shot before break. And he's got it. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL here on this first day of November. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where you see the final score there. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Ready.
They'll run it with Bush. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones connects with Kittle underneath. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Bush. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, and this is going to be a Charger touchdown. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards, and the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be fielded at the 8.
Let's go.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready, break.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's get that ball right here.
Let's go.
Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Here's Jones on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jones now. Going to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They run. Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here. Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. Oh, nice move. Throw left side complete. That's Bush. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 24-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Jones now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They come out here in the I. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They go again with Ware. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Another try after the first down sack. Ryan, they'll leave this for Ware. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Chargers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down, check, 4 down.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Spencer Ware, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He's got it. This is Ware. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Go now.
The Saints
90
offense
more.
on the field, ready to get their drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that person. Foul penalty's not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Following the penalty, Chubb. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On second down, it's Bush, and he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run with Chubb, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Just a 4-play drive that time. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrad Davis. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The pitch back. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A give. This is Bush. Room here to run. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Come on, fellas.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it.
Marvin Jones! And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On second down now, Benjamin. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Good work.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Y'all already know what time it is, playing skills, you did, playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist,